my humble opinion, a good Muslim would not smoke. Plus, it damages the environment. We might not think it is a little bit of smoke. And we have a duty to look after the environment, the place where what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created for us to live. And yet we do these things, we smoke. And the young ones here, there will come a time when someone will say to you, have a cigarette. You might be at school, or one of your friends who's not Muslim, or even maybe a Muslim, may say to you, try a cigarette. And you know that, well, you'll be tempted, should I or shouldn't I? You know. And then they'll go a stage further, they'll say, when you're a little bit older, or even when you're still in your teens, they might say, just try a little drop of alcohol. And you'll know straight away that alcohol is haram. So you'll say, no, I'm a Muslim, I don't drink alcohol. But they'll put more pressure on you. They're good at putting pressure on you. You say, no, you're good. And you know the favourite saying among people who try to get you to do things what you don't want to do? The favourite saying is, a little drop won't do it, isn't it? A little bit won't do it, yeah? I ask you this. An earthquake starts from a little crack. A fire starts from a little spark. A flood starts from a little drop. So, is it a little more time yet? Of course it will happen. Because it leads. So, what alcohol has done throughout history, it's a great weapon of the shaitan. The shaitan has many weapons. And one of his favourite weapons is alcohol. There was a time in the early days of Islam that drinking was permitted. It was permitted. But what happened? The Muslims became intoxicated, that means drunk, lost their minds, didn't know what they were doing, and went into the masjid and committed all kinds of wrong. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no more. And alhamdulillah, the Sahaba, they got rid of everything straight away. It was the barrels that they brought, there was rivers of alcohol flowing away. Now, that was in the early days, 1400 years ago. Recently in America, about 70 years ago, 70, 80 years ago, alcohol was prohibited. It was banned. They were not on religious grounds, well, yeah, partly on religious grounds, but on other grounds, on moral grounds, because the powers that be knew what they were doing. They knew it was causing too much trouble. People react differently to alcohol. Some are very happy and jolly and talk. Some want to fight. Some think they can fly. Some think they're Superman. All kinds of things. True. You know. Now what happened? People thought, oh, we like our alcohol. So they even committed a crime by producing it and selling it without anybody knowing. But, alhamdulillah, Islam teaches us that even that is wrong. It teaches us something is haram, it is haram. There's no maybe, if, why not. Who knows what is best for us? Who knows better than the one that created us? The one that created us knows what is good for us and what is bad for us. And yet there are people who say, oh, it won't tell you. Who knows better? People or the Creator? It's not it's simple. We go on to gambling. What is gambling? Gambling is trying to get something for nothing. It's reality. And the ironic thing about gambling is that in the early days of Islam, again, gambling was permitted. They used to shoot arrows from bows and arrows. You shoot arrows certain distances, and the prizes were pieces of meat. They were called divining. I don't know the full passage of it. Now, I'll just refer back to alcohol. One thing that I want to tell you, because this is important with alcohol. Alcohol basically is a liquid, right? And you go into a place called a pub, what sells alcohol, and you buy it by the pint in a glass. And I don't know now, it's probably £5-6 for a pint. So you buy a pint of alcohol, they fill it up, you go sit down, you drink it, and you start feeling all good and happy, and so you think. And then we think, oh, I need the toilet, I've just drunk a pint of liquid. You go to the toilet and you get rid of it. You then go back to the bar, you think, I need another pint. So you pay another £5, you have another pint, and you do the same again. You drink it again, you get feeling a little bit more merry, you go to the toilet, and you get rid of it.
Again.
Some people, after 2, they've had enough. Some people, after 20, they haven't had enough. So what alcohol is buying a liquid to go to the toilet and get rid of it. But that is the simplicity. It causes untold problems throughout the world. The more crimes are committed through alcohol than most things. We'll go back to gambling. Gambling, someone will come to you and will say to you, look, there's a horse race, and the bet on horse races, they give you odds, and they'll say, we know this horse will win. If you put £1 on it, it's 10 for 1. If you put £1 on it, and it wins, you'll win £10. And you think, that's, I've only got to put £1, and I get it. You think, it's good. So, then, you think, yeah, I'll do that. And the horse loses, so you've lost £1. Now, if the horse wins, you've won £10, and you think, I can't wait to have another go. I can't wait to do that again. But if the horse loses, you've lost £1, and you think, I need to have another go to get that £1 back, what I've just lost. So you become hooked. You're a gambler.
Yes.
And I was reading an article today. That now, because of all this modern technology, which I don't understand, really, I'll be honest. I don't know even know how to send a text on the telephone. I don't know. But there's now what they call online gambling. And you can bet by pressing buttons and the advertisements on the television. You see them occasionally. We'll give you £20 free to start you off. I was reading the article today, and there was one man who was paid for him to go to Dubai. They paid for him to go to all the big cricket matches because he was losing lots of money. And he didn't realise they were giving him £10,000 to lose £100,000. But they thought you were doing well, they thought you were getting £10,000 worth of freebies.
Yes.
The mentality, you know, it's the mentality of people. Gambling, alcohol will ruin families. It can drive father against parent, father against son, a brother against sister. It can cause all kinds of problems. Alcohol is too complex to go into detail. Smoking, as we know, is macro. My humble advice to anyone, I smoked, I reverted to Islam 12 years ago. And prior to smoking, prior to reverting to Islam, I smoked 40 cigarettes a day. Now, only Allah knows when it is time for me or you to leave this dunya. But I believe that if I had to revert to Islam and carried on smoking, I wouldn't have been here talking to you today. It destroys your body. I have felt, you feel clean. And you know, the beauty is, I'm 72 years old, but for 60 years of my life, even as a little kid, we were gambling at 5 and 6 years old, you know, it was the norm, playing cards and tossing coins and that. And alhamdulillah, the great thing is about Islam is that we know what is wrong for us and we know what is right for us. And we've just got to be strong because our Creator decrees these things, whether they're right or whether they're wrong. And like I said at the beginning, who knows better than the one that created? And you know, I feel now that since I became Muslim, that I'm living a second life.
Subhanallah.
Some of the young boys say to me sometimes, how old are you, Uncle Balal? I'll say I'm 12 years old. 12 years old. Because I became Muslim 12 years ago, so I'm only 12. I'm only 12. And you know, I feel that. Because when you revert to Islam, I think I said to some of the brothers today, I've been asked many times why I reverted to Islam. And one answer is peace.
Subhanallah.
Straightforward.
Or there can be 1,000 answers, thousands and thousands of answers, because you know there's many, but Allah knows best. But there are more and more, alhamdulillah, more and more people throughout the world who reverted to Islam. But, you know, we never hear about it in the media because they don't want us to know. The powers that be. But because, I'll tell you the brothers this afternoon, when I was young and at school, and probably in the case of some of your brothers, when you was at school, there were no such thing as computers and internets and telephones. You had a teacher, and you thought that teacher, he knew everything because he was a teacher. So you tended to believe what that teacher told you. And if you asked the teacher a question and he didn't know, rather than say he didn't know, he'd say, don't ask me those kind of questions. Very clever with teachers at that. But as time has gone on, young people now have got access to any subject, any topic, any theme they want through the internet. So people are not asking other people now, they're forming their own opinions, which alhamdulillah is a good thing. And people are seeing, when they realise the truth about Islam, they're thinking, well, what is it all about? Because a person will ask himself, where did I come from? Why am I here? And where am I going? They're the basics of existence. You know, every person on this earth has two things in common. Some people say death and taxes. It's not death and taxes. It's birth and taxes. We're all born and we all die. Nobody was not born and nobody will live forever. So, people are beginning to realise that there is more than this existence what we have now. Because in a great expanse of time, some people, scientists say that this world has existed, this universe, 3 billion years. 3 billion. 3 billion is a lot. But I say it's existed from when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created it. And it will end when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ends it. So it is important to a certain extent how we conduct ourselves in this life. And people are so foolish. The sacrificing, maybe the sacrificing, entering Jannah for the sake of a few luxuries in this life. You know, I read the Quran, and the Quran, I try to read translation and understand. And I don't know the Arabic Afisabul now, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in one surah, he says that this day I have created for you your religion, I have bestowed my favour upon you, your religion will be Islam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the religion of Islam. So going back again, who knows what is best for us is the one that created us. What religion is best for us? It cannot
Islam.
be any other religion because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says
in the Quran,
says Islam. It doesn't say any other religion. And in no other religions does the God that the other religious people worship say this religion, only in Islam. So I'd like to finish by just saying, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but when you've had something all your life, and you get older, or sometimes it happens when you're younger, you tend to take it for granted. You know, if you've had a job all your life, or you've had money all your life, you take it for granted that you've got it. But when you've never had something, and all of a sudden you find it, and you find that it's the best thing you've ever had, it's the most precious thing that you've ever had, you'll hang on to it as tightly as you can. And this is why I say to you brothers, you know, you hear the phrase many times, born Muslim. I subscribe to the theory that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're all born Muslim.
That's true.
But because of the way, I mean the beauty again of Islam, just veering off the point a little bit, the first words that an Islamic baby hears are, what are the first words? Allahu Akbar. Because I understand the custom is when your child is born, you have the azan ready to the child's ear.
Yes.
So the very first words that child will hear, Allahu Akbar. You know. So going back to what I was saying, I was one of the very, very fortunate people that discovered this golden treasure, and I will fight with all I can to hold on to what I've got, the faith of Islam. Some brothers, because of that, they tend to just lose it a little bit. This is why I see brothers like athletes, I see brothers wearing green alarms, I see young brothers, and you do not realise how much inspiration you give. You know, that I see the young ones, that young boy there. I see that young boy there. And it fills me full of inspiration. Because I've been talking to him, and he's 5 times prayer. And he's going to try to read his 5 times prayer. And he's 7-year-old. What more inspiration do we want? There's some adults can't read 1 time prayer.
Yes, true.
The boy there reads 5 times prayer.
MashaAllah.
So what I say was, I'll just finish because I'm going on.
No problem.
Just say that, you know, hold on to what you've got. It's so easy to let go and think, you know, people say, you know, I've had it said, well, if they say God, they say, well, if God is that good, he'll forgive you. Say, yeah, but Allah is merciful, most merciful.
Yeah.
But you cannot play on that.
No.
You cannot think, oh, well, I'll do that. It's like the 5 pillars of Islam.
Yeah.
You know, we all know what they are. Shahada, Salah, Zakat, Salam, and Hajj.
Yeah.
Now, what is the most important of those 5 pillars? Some might say, well, they're all of equal importance. There's one of those pillars of Islam that supports the other pillars, and that is Shahada. Because Salah is a physical act. You use your body, and it's also a spiritual act, obviously, but there's a physicality to it. Fasting is a physical act, because you're going without food. Hajj is a physical act, because you want. Shahada, there's no physicality involved. It's from the heart. Shahada is from inside. And what if you did not believe La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah, what would be the point of the other 4 pillars of Islam? There wouldn't be there would be no point.
Yeah, first one is Shahada.
Shahada,
Yeah,
yeah.
very shahada.
So, you know, I just want to, I believe now I've got the duty for the rest of my life. Alhamdulillah, I hope that I have people over because I've got this love now of, I've always had a, since I was to live on mother, I've always had a great love for Islam. Because it's so pure, it's so peaceful, it's so meaningful, it's a solution. It is a solution to the world's problems. But again, the stupidity of mankind. We abuse, don't we? You know, we don't use what we, like going back to what, to addictions. We're addicted to things that are bad for us. Well, we should be addicted to things that are good for us. But that's the nature of mankind. But, you know, we've got this great religion, we need to hold on to it. We need to, you know, we need to get out of bed in the morning for Fajr prayer. Even though it might be cold or you might be lonely and warm. And you need to do, you need the certain acts we should do what are of great benefit. You know, I read in Counsel in Man, which is a translation, it says that sleep is the rest for the body. So when we sleep in, the body rests. But tahajjud prayer is the rest for the soul. So you think about it. The soul needs rest. And the rest the soul gets is when we read tahajjud prayer.
Subhanallah.
So is it not worth, you know, just before Fajr, to read that tahajjud prayer? If you only read two rak'ah, you're resting your soul. And I would like to finish this short down by saying that I'll tell you a true story. A few years ago, I lived by myself, and it doesn't trouble me, because I always believe I'm not by myself, I've got angels. There's angels everywhere. So I'm not by myself. There's an angel on that shoulder, and there's one on that shoulder. So I'm not by myself. And I was going to bed at night, and I was having all kinds of nightmares. I wanted to be having beautiful dreams. You know, like we all do, we all want beautiful dreams. But I was having nightmares, horrible nightmares. And this went on for nearly a year. And I spoke to a brother, and he said to me, Balal, he said, what you need to do, he said, you know, you can recite Ayatul Kursi, can't you? I said, yeah. I said, that was one of the first things I learned when I went to Jerusalem. He says, before you go to bed, he said, make sure you do also. Recite Ayatul Kursi, then the Kul Surahs, and blow into your hands. So, I didn't, I thought that's good advice. Some people might say that. And I did it. That was 3 years ago, and I do it every night, and I've not had a nightmare since.
Subhanallah, mashallah.
Yeah, you just have to believe these things. Yeah.
I'd like to finish if I may by making the dua. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin nabiyyi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.
Ameen.
Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.
Ameen.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin nabiyyi wa ala alihi wa barik wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin nuril amari wa sirril arari wa sayyidil abrar.
Ameen.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi alfa mara.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, be gracious unto us and accept everything we ask for in our prayers and obedience.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, protect us from evil doings, protect us from evil thoughts,
Ameen.
protect us from evil society,
Ameen.
protect us from the path of thy wrath.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, make us faithful unto you and make us obedient unto you.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, make us follow in the footsteps of our beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, make us tread the path of the guidance set out by our beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, make us follow the noble example of our beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, make us follow the glorious path of our great saints.
Mm.
Ya Allah, forgive all our past sins.
Mm.
Ya Allah, we are shameful of our sins.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, forgive us those sins we have committed knowingly.
Ameen.
Forgive us those sins we have committed
Ameen.
unknowingly. Ya Allah, make all our males and females performers of namaz.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, make all Muslims pious.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, make us do such deeds that the reputation of Islam may
Ameen.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, save all Muslims from all calamities and troubles.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, enhance Islam and make easy all our difficulties.
Ameen.
Oh Allah, relieve the difficulties of those in adversity. Oh Allah, those in want, give them provision from thy grace.
Ameen.
Those with sickness, illness, pain and suffering, give them shifa.
Ameen.
Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin nina nabiyul ummi wa ala alayhi wa sallim taslima. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
MashaAllah. Very nice.
Mashallah.
Very nice. MashaAllah. Very nice.